Alright guys, and welcome back, doing another review. Today we're following up on our last review, which was the Metal Gear Solid Snake from Yamato on Konami. Today we have Liquid Snake, Solid Snake's twin brother. So just received this guy today. Pretty much the same box if you remember the last review. However, this one's a little bit rougher as far as shape goes. You can see kind of got some glue separation from being in storage. It is tape sealed, but a little rougher condition, but considering the age of this figure, made in 2002 I believe, it's understandable. By the way, if you're looking for one of these guys, eBay's pretty much your only shot. And continued box art, really cool. Really like the box art on these. I mean, the boxes aren't impressive, but the art on them, the glossy texture, is definitely cool. And then there's a read up on Liquid, so feel free to pause that. And some of the other characters, they also made Merrill and Sniper Wolf. So I'm going to crack this open and give you guys a detailed look at Liquid Snake. Stay tuned. Okay, so we got Liquid Snake out of package, and going to take a closer look at him. So very first impression is this guy is not as well put together as the Solid Snake, whereas I thought the Solid Snake really held up very well, considering its age. This one, mainly due to, I think, this jacket doesn't look that great. Head sculpt is pretty much on par with the last one. Body is also the same, but this jacket looks pretty awful in my opinion. Granted, it's from 2002, so tailoring to 1/6 figures is not to be expected to be great. But yeah, the jacket looks pretty horrible. It's a brownish color. Hope that's coming through. Give you a 360 view of them. I mean, there's some detail in there, like when you zoom in on it, you know, you get all this paneling and stitching, buttons. Definitely does look like leather. And I know it isn't, but I could tell you from collecting like old G.I. Joes back in the 90s, the material must be pretty decent to have held up, because I know some of those G.I. Joes, the fake leather jackets used to just crumble, or even right in the box. But this one seems to be durable, so there's a plus side to that. And bringing them around, pretty cool. The jacket does unsnap, and you can kind of pose it open, sort of like so. Does come with his dog tags, which is really cool. Get a little closer look at the pants, which is like an olive drab, down to the very basic rubber molded boots. Now while we're here, I was pleasantly surprised to see an accessory, which I'll get to shortly, but just so you can see it on the figure, he does come packaged with it. Looks like a radio communicator. I'll pull it out in a little bit. But the head sculpt coming in on that, pretty good. It definitely looks a lot like the Solid Snake face sculpt, which is good because they are twin brothers of sorts. Twin clone brothers. Definitely resembles that one, and I will bring that in as a comparison later in the review. But pretty cool. Hair's also got a couple of tones in it. You know, it's got like a dirty blonde look. And then it's going to show you briefly a couple of the other accessories that do come with the figure. You get the FAMAS assault rifle. Pretty nice. Comes with the strap. Does have a bipod that is movable. You could move it down into place. Don't fiddle with it too much because I don't want to break it, but there we go. So that works. You'll notice the clip is not inserted into the gun. That's because it does come in a separate package with its own pouch. So I'll get that open. I'll take the jacket off. Oddly enough, you'll notice it comes with the instructions for solid snake, which is bizarre. But I'm going to take the jacket off, get a closer look at the accessories, and then we'll move on. Okay, so here's Liquid Snake without the trench coat. Body's pretty interesting. Looks pretty well done, especially for that time frame as far as articulation goes. So with that, you got this weird butterfly type swivel. It's pretty revolutionary for the time, but it doesn't really have a whole lot of motion in it. And it does have the ability to bring the arms in quite a bit, which is really nice. You'll also notice that he's got double jointed elbows, just like Solid. Again, the same exact body, and it's designed in a way that you can get a really tight curl on that, which is excellent. And to my surprise, Liquid's tattoo is present. Kind of zoom in on that as best I can, give you guys a really good look at it. You can actually read it in person. Don't know if you're going to be able to read it on camera because it is extremely small writing. But it says Temptation Revelations, and it's a sword with a snake or a serpent on it. Pretty cool detail. Very cool. I was surprised to see that, and glad that they took the time to include it. Again, I mentioned in the Solid Snake review, I believe Kojima did have a lot of creative control in the development of these particular figures, so I'm sure it was his say-so that be included. Moving on with the articulation, you do got an ab crunch, which is something you really couldn't put into much use with the Solid Snake because of the armored vest. But with this, and it kind of like shifts forward and back. It's got a nice range. Hip also has some pretty decent articulation. Legs again, up, down, out, in, double jointed knees. Wrist, full swivel and up and down. And then there is ankle pivot, up and down and left and right. So pretty good articulation, I gotta say, especially 2002. This is better than most figures from that time frame. The body itself doesn't look amazing without clothes on it, I'll be honest. But pretty well built. You'll notice there's some metal joints in there on the elbow, also on the wrist as well. So it looks like it's a pretty well sturdy body. And then getting into a little bit more detail on those accessories, couple things. This is the holster for the clip that goes in the FAMAS. Does open and the clip can be removed, which is pretty nice, but I can't really remove it. It's kind of like stuck in there, so I think I'm just gonna leave it. And then also for the communicator, same deal. This can be opened. Kind of zoom in so you can get a better look at it. and it can be removed, but again, it's kind of like stuck in there, and I didn't want to break the pouch apart to remove it. But there is a full-size communicator in there, which is a nice detail. And that's about it. That's articulation, and look at all the accessories. So stay tuned. I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison between Liquid and Solid Snake. Okay, so now you can see Solid Snake and Liquid Snake side by side. Heights are identical, which should be the case. Give you a brief look at them ground up. By the way, it does not come with display stands. These are just some display stands I have, just in case anyone was wondering. Again, you know, you're looking at the faces on these two characters. You could definitely see that they resemble each other quite a bit. Of course, the hair color is different. If I remember correctly, I believe it was Liquid that got all of the dominant genes and Solid that got the recessive, and Liquid was told that he had gotten the recessive. He was lied to when he actually always had the dominant genes, whatever that means during the game. But could play a part into the hair color. But you can see their eye colors are also the same. Both got brown eyes. It's pretty cool to have these two side by side, Liquid and Solid, the twin brothers, the twin snakes. These are pretty cool figures. I'm glad to have them. Of course, they don't really stand up as well to today's figures like the Hot Toys and whatnot, but I think Solid Snake does. But this outfit for Liquid doesn't look all that impressive. But nonetheless, still pretty cool figures. Glad to have them. Hope you enjoyed taking a look at these figures. Notice there's really not many reviews, barely none on Liquid, and I only found one on Solid, so glad to bring a little something new. This is a retro review, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, as always, for watching, subscribing, and commenting. Till next time, guys.